So I'm truly honored to welcome a very special guest today, Mrs. Geetanjali Bahri, a proud FIIB alumna, an exceptional storyteller whose career has beautifully traversed the worlds of lifestyle retail, iconic brand partnerships, public communication platforms, and purpose-driven media. So, from managing high-stakes communication for top institutions to crafting extremely socially impactful narratives like Janaki, a show that has not only resonated with audiences and it has just I think some time now that you've wrapped up a successful first season of
Yes,
the show.
yes.
Her
8 months on,
work,
yes.
when I was looking at her LinkedIn profile, is as diverse as it is meaningful. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
uh,
Thank
we
you
can't
for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me.
we can't wait to hear your fortune story. I'll start with my first question now. So, from lifestyle retail to government initiatives to producing Janki, your journey again, like I earlier said, is incredibly diverse. So, what's that probably one mindset you probably leaned on the most through all these, different transitions?
You see, I actually started my journey from PR. So public relations was the industry as such was at a very, very nascent stage when I started. And my first boss in first PR agency, he told me that for communication, always remember the ground rule that never assume that the other person has understood. That's the key of communication. And I think that stuck with me. So I think the one skill that I have actually learned over and over again and I've kept with me is effective communication and value of collaboration and adaptability. Because, if you are moving from one industry to another, or even from one job to another, dealing with so many people, collaboration. And this I'm talking 20 years back. And now with social media, everything is about collaboration. So I would say collaboration, communication, and adaptation. That has really I learned that, and it's not gone out of fashion.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Wow.
so that has been the key, because with every client that you work with, every stakeholder that you work with, communication is very, very important. And communication means assuming that everybody is a fool. So you have to tell the person right from A to, you have to spell out things, because many times, and especially this younger generation, when I meet them, they understand the managerial words. They would say, oh, delegation, this and that. But what does delegation mean? Delegation does not mean that you give the work and you forget about it, right? So you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
give the work, you have to chase. So no matter the management books taught us about macro managing and leadership, but I think micromanaging is so, so important as a leader as well. So I would always tell the youngsters, I work with many young people who are in their 20s, follow up is so important in communication.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Congratulations on wrapping season one of Janaki. What is the spark behind your involvement, and what has this journey taught you creatively or personally?
The spark, of course, was the storytelling, because coming from PR and doing a lot of communication work, media work, in PR also and in corporate communication also, it's all about storytelling. You have to tell the story of your client, the brand, and how you tell it was key. And when the TV production opportunity came to me, Janki's storyline was very, very impactful, because it was for a social impact thing. It was for women empowerment. It was not only for entertainment. And so throughout this journey, again, I relearned the value of collaboration, creative experimentation, more on the technological advancement of media, because now there are latest cameras, there are AI-driven tools, the importance of music in TV production, and how music is telling the story of each episode and staying true to the narrative, because we were working with the public broadcast channel, and or even producers who work with the private channels also. You have to keep staying true to your narrative. You cannot keep changing your narrative, and you have to adapt to the new narrative approaches. There are a lot of shifts in the audience engagements, so that is something that I have really learned, and it has been a great, great rewarding experience. And it has personally, so creatively, I have just told you, it's experimentation that has worked, the new narrative approaches I have learned. In audiences engagement works, because in TV channel it is about TRPs,
Yeah.
weekly TRPs, and how you have to quickly change the script. You work with the script guys and you say, okay, this will not work, this will work. And personally, of course, I have grown as a storyteller, as an individual, I feel, because being a producer means overseeing all the aspects of the TV show's creation, right from
Right,
initial
right,
conception to final
right.
delivery. And this is something which I have worked throughout in my media thing. So for me, getting into TV production was not something new, because people ask me, oh, it's so diverse, and how will you be able to do that? But no, I think staying in corporate and in agencies, I think whatever I had learned in the past 20 years as a TV producer, I just got everything together, and the result was very, very rewarding.
Phenomenal. So you've worked with, a lot of big brands, iconic brands. How do you
Yes.
approach building authentic, long-term partnerships, especially in such varied sectors?
See, so I have been also a very, very strong, my strong area has also been client servicing. So you have to understand. So I have also learned understand the client's unique goals and values. So for example, so the long-term partnerships always work no matter in whichever sector you go, when you understand what the client wants. What is the company's goals? What is the brand's mission and the vision? And at FIIB, I remember in the management, in the marketing books, we used to read about mission and vision. Actually, that's one thing I will eventually tell you about, that stuck by me in one of the marketing classes, which we took in FIIB. And I remember this teacher, he really grilled us upon understanding the mission and the vision statement, the difference in mission and vision. And I
Right.
actually used that thing to the core while I was working. And I realized that if you have not learned it in the marketing, in a good institute, and if your teacher hasn't like really ingrained that in you, you don't really understand the difference. So mission is like a smaller objective, and vision is much larger. So that actually
Yeah.
stayed with me while I was dealing with the clients. So for
Sure.
example, uh, I was working with Doordarshan, which is a public broadcaster. They were very sensitive to the content. So we had to deliver very clean content that has a social message, plus while keeping intact the entertainment value. And
Yeah.
I was working with this multinational footwear brand. I was heading marketing for them, and I handled retail for them also eventually. So for them, their marketing and their company was completely about product driven. The strategy was completely product driven. So, and I came from the agency background, handling different lifestyle clients, which
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
all about marketing, which was not product driven. So once I started handling product driven strategy, I had to quickly adapt to it. And they wanted more and more people to know about the product and to understand what it stands for. So for us, audience engagement was very, very important in that brand. So for people to experience the product outside the retail space was very important, which I had not done with previous companies. So how quickly you understand that, how quickly you
Yeah.
adapt to that. And sometimes I feel that we should not think too much. Yes, we should strategize. Once you've strategized, you have your plan in place, just go for the execution. That has been my understanding of keeping the stakeholders close to me and having a great, great fostering relationships with them.
Wonderful, wonderful. So marketing is also, evolving at a very rapid pace, especially with AI. A lot of content overload is there. So I still remember, I think a few years back, if somebody wanted to post on LinkedIn, there were very few posts because everybody would think about it. They probably would check the grammar, and it's like, no, it's not looking impactful, and it'll take some time to design that content and then put it on LinkedIn, right? Or any social
Mm.
media platform for that matter of fact.
Yeah.
However, today, I think everyone is posting every single day because it's just one click on the chat GPT and they would generate something for you and then you copy and paste. So again, there's a lot of content overload. So what's your go-to approach to, cut through the noise and make messaging matter in such situations?
You know what AI has done, which we did not have in our times, is that AI is very data driven, right? We did not have that much of data ready. There used to be like data reports that ran into thousands of pages, and it took a lot of time for us to understand the customer. So there was a lot of intuitive and authenticity that went in our work at that time, which I feel
Yeah,
is
yeah.
lacking today. So like, and you have actually replied on your own. The answer is something that you right now said is cut, copy, paste.
Yeah.
So which we did not have. We did not have, and we have not learned that. Our generation did not learn that. So we have learned to be more authentic. And even today, the younger generation, if you see all these content creators, only those content creators have really become popular and big who are authentic. But authentic in the sense, authentic doesn't mean that like I'm doing something different than the others. No, authentic to yourself. So you have to present who you are as a person. So once you are, once you as a person have a strong grounding, you have your heart and your mind at the right place. I really don't think you can go wrong.
Yeah.
So I would say that in today's AI's world, just stay authentic with emotions. AI will not give you emotions. It will give you data. It will give you strategies. And once you're executing is, you have to use your intuition. You have to use your own core personality to give the authentic result. And that is what will set you apart.
If you have, I think, led communications, I think you've led a few startups, and you've also worked.
100%.
Yeah, you've also led communications for established institutions, also established companies, also big brands, also. So, did you see a difference or similarity in the communication challenges that are faced by startups or established institutions?
So the biggest difference lies in the pace and the agility required for startups versus the established institutions. So, for example, if I'm working with an established institution, the processes are in place and you're just moving along with that. The pace is fast, you're not getting too much time to think, not getting too much time to be creative. But if you are an entrepreneur, I would not say entrepreneur because you could have entrepreneurial skills while at a job as well, right? But if you have your own startup, in that the pace is very slow. You have to be very, very patient. There is nobody supporting you. But my whole learning during my 5 years of running a brand of my own was that the learning was that you have to have, besides the strategy, of course, you have to have a very strong team to work, which I thought was something I did not. That was my learning. I could have done that better. The team building was very, very important because that's something that you get in an established institution.
Yeah, yeah.
You get a lot of support. In a startup, it's like everything falls on your shoulder. So that's the difference, the pace and the agility and the challenge. I mean, the similarities, of course, the communication has to be as effective, whether you are in an established institution or it is your own company. And how is that driving engagement? So driving engagement is, I think, engagement and communication is the common thing.
As a woman shaping narratives behind the camera, how do you see the role of female producers and storytellers evolving in Indian media today?
I'm so excited to seeing so many lady producers. Of course, many years back when the TV boom started, it was Ekta Kapoor. Now you have many other names. You have Susanna Ghai, you have Nivedita Basu. There's so many of them, and they are all creating such interesting. They're giving different perspective to this complete to bring to the story. So, for example, they are bringing diverse perspective to the storytelling. They're shifting from the limited stereotypical roles to more empowered roles and diverse positions, which we did not see earlier. So whether it is in television or even in cinema, you see that a lot of women producers have great content. And for example, I'll just give you a very simple thing like for people to understand. So for example, in earlier movies where producers were say for or the script writers, if they are male, and today also if they are male, so a male will write the character of a woman as what he has experienced personally in his life and what he sees around. So it is his perspective. But when a woman is writing, is a script writer, and there are actually very, very good script writers today in the industry who are women, their perspective is totally different because what a man sees women as suffering, maybe we're not suffering. It is maybe our strategy to overcome something. So a man sees us as a woman. So if you see 80s, 90s movies or television, the mother is like this old widow, and she's like a real bichara of the of the family. But I also grew up in that era. And actually, I really don't think I saw any bichara woman around me. Coming from a very modest background, I'm talking about very middle class, modest background. Whether it was a housewife or my mom who was working, I have seen very, very strong women around. So when I used to see these movies, these narratives, I never could understand, where are these women? But they were there because a man was narrating that.
Yeah.
So if a woman is narrating that, she has a very different story to tell for herself.
Totally.
And that is the difference that you will see now more, and we are seeing that already. So that is the difference. And women are increasingly taking on key roles in production, direction, writing. They're challenging the traditional norms. They're questioning that, and they're bringing fresh perspectives.
Wow. Let's take it back a little and talk more about, how was your journey at FIIB? So how do you think FIIB shape your thinking or probably prepare in some way, prepare you in some way for this path?
I was from the first batch, and it was like being with a startup, right? So it's like a difference between being with the startup and with the it's already established organization. So we had our own challenges, but that grew us much more than what we had, because we, as the first batch, we had to, we were experimenting with everything, whether it's a campus or whether it's being in a hostel that was provided to us outside. Our location was, I don't know if you know, our location of FIB, the first building
Was a
was
different
it wasn't.
Bridgewater. Yeah.
So I'm saying the challenges that we saw, and everybody, I'll tell you, in our batch, whoever I know, everybody did so well. And so I think FIB, because the promoters of FIB, I think they were so passionate about, and they were very sure that this is something which will work. And it's not something that got shut after 10 years, 15 years. It's you guys are doing great. And it did provide us with a very, very solid foundation in international business, in marketing, and in finance also. We had great faculty. And that helped me and us develop a very strategic mindset, like any other, post-grad program does. And we really did not miss out on anything. And it was a great foundation, I think. And I'm so happy for the kids now. You have a great campus, which I would like to one day come and see.
We would love
Yes.
for you to be there.
So I think the students today, I think they should see the intent of the promoters. I always say, whichever educational institution you are going to, like I'm also working with a media house, which also runs a film institute, Whistling Woods. It's one of the biggest, and it's amongst top 6, I think, in Asia or in the entire world. So whenever people tell me why should we go here and why not some other institution, I said you should always look at the promoter. Who's the person behind the institution? I'm sure FIB does leverage that.
Yeah.
We have experienced that, and I'm sure we've been here for 25 years. So students should know that a great foundation of the institution comes from who's promoting and whose vision are they following and they are studying it. That is very important.
Yeah, so I've seen your pictures with Subhash ji a lot.
Yeah, so I work with his company, yes, and he has a film, and he has a film institute which is really doing wonders. Yes, so it's great, and we're doing currently a project with the Delhi government, previous Delhi government, and it is providing media education, filmmaking, and media communication courses for students of government schools from 9th to 12th. So the whole idea was to provide them skills. I mean, even the best of the schools do not have that. Yeah, and it's not elective. They actually they give exams, and they gave boards. Last year they gave boards as well for filmmaking. So students, after 6 months of our training, class 9 and 10, class 9 students were able to produce like a short, say, a 2-minute documentary. So the idea is to provide skill-based education to these kids, so that after 12th, because they come from very, very humble backgrounds. So if they are not able to, family is not able to provide them with higher education, they can get into any good working place, and they're already trained in that. So this is a very great project that I'm been.
Yeah,
I have been
wow,
associated.
wow. Wonderful project. I don't know any, even the elitist of schools in Delhi, they're not giving media
No,
education.
no,
They're not
no.
doing it in the
Yeah, so
classrooms.
we started with four schools. These are the
Hmm.
Rajkiya, the state level government schools, and now we are working with five of them. So every year they have planned
Wonderful.
to, and it's giving great results. And these kids are so driven; they are very, very driven. I feel this is part of me giving back to the society.
Yeah,
Also,
right. Definitely. One last question. What's one piece of advice you would give to our students here at FIIB, which who are looking to enter the world of media, entertainment, or communications?
so see, like I said, adaptability. Initially, the media and entertainment industry is constantly evolving, and now more so with AI. So I think in coming years, so many jobs are going to be replaced by AI. But then what will remain is that how adaptable you are, what is your emotional intellect, and how often, how frequently you can keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible, what's not possible, and pursue opportunities that align with your passion and values. Because sometimes we think that, oh, we are passionate about it, but you have to do a lot of study, do a lot of background work to see what the industry is all about. I think so. Stay curious about the industry if you want to get into. Do a lot of research. There are a lot of great people in the industry now. Look at their social media pages, understand, what they're doing, and just stay true to yourself, and then you decide that, okay, I want to get into this industry. But you have to be very, very adaptable, because it's really, it moves very fast. The cameras, for example, is what is relevant today. After a month it is not. So you have to be very, very technologically also sharp in understanding that
Updated.
what. Yes. So again, the one word for it is adaptability, and staying curious, and having the knowledge to build upon something that you want.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you
And of
so
course,
much, ma'am.
go to the singles website and see. See the work.
Yeah.
Look at the website, look at the what alumni has done, and all the new projects that are coming on OTT, on TV channels, on cinema. So a lot
Wow.
of students are placed by the institution. So that's very rewarding for us.
Wonderful. Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your
Thank you so
time.
much. Thank you so much.
And I would love, if you can visit the campus someday, I would
I would
love to
love to.
meet you.
Yes.
I'm very
Yes.
impressed by your profile. So maybe the next alumni meet, or we're planning to have a grand one in the next,
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
in a few months from now. So I'll tell
Sure,
you in
sure.
advance. Please, if you can come to the campus, or otherwise
Absolutely.
also, I think it's not very far off.
No, no,
Whenever you're in
absolutely.
Delhi. Whenever you're in
Yes.
Delhi, just drop in. Yeah.
No, I would love to, and all the best, and never stop
Right.
learning.